Good evening and welcome to the Whitewater Wind Down. I'm Madeline Copeland alongside Peyton Walls and Edie Fernay. We are matching today by coincidence.
Unintentional.
Yeah, like the past couple times, with the Halloween and the candy corn. That was intentional, but this was just not, and I think it's kind of awesome. We all felt green today.
We're all synced up.
Speaking of fun colors, the color pink has been super popular this year.
For
It'd be
sure.
interesting to see some statistics if you can tell what's the most popular color every year. I bet it would be pink because of the Barbie movie.
It is because of the Barbie movie. I heard that actually the Barbie movie has been so popular, it made $1.3 billion. Did you see that?
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the highest grossing female films of all time, which
Wow.
is really impressive for a Barbie movie.
Yeah, it was so fun to actually get to experience the hype of it. Also, did you guys know Taylor Swift is also making $1 billion?
Wow.
Hey, good
That
for
was
her.
recently announced.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. So Barbie, Taylor Swift, both very deserving of making $1 billion, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know the Taylor's version of 1989 came out, and they had an event at Jitters, which I went to, and I saw you there.
I did see you there.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm excited to hear it. And it was a big thing coming out. Everyone had to solve
Yeah.
the puzzle for it to be released in the first place.
Yeah, I remember being in elementary school, 2014, when the original one came out, and now I'm in college, and it's crazy. So it's crazy how time flies. But yeah, Jitters had a whole event for it. There was karaoke, bracelet making, coloring books. There was themed drinks that went along with the album, which I thought was super fun.
I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan myself, but I love some crafts and all that fun stuff, so I decided to go, and a lot of my friends are super passionate about it, so they were listening to the songs. I'm like, do you hear the difference? I'm like, not really, but I'm glad that you do because that's super cool.
Oh, there is one. Trust me.
I believe you, I
Us
believe you.
Taylor Swift fans, we know. We can tell.
I heard there was also an event on campus for the Barbie movie that came out. Is that right? You were there? Is that?
Yeah, there was a whole themed dinner at Drumland, and then there was also a movie showing of it in the UC, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't go to that, but I saw the Barbie box, and I was like, that is so awesome.
Yeah, I saw
Take a
the Barbie
picture of
box all over Instagram. It was cool that people actually dressed up and everything for the Barbie movie. I went to the Barbie movie in the UC, but before that, I saw Wayne Hoffman, the mind reader guy.
Ooh.
He was doing a little show in the Down Under, and it was the craziest thing. It was legit. It was legitimate. I know how people say oh, mind reader. There has to be some sort of trick to it. No, this guy was legit.
That's it honestly scares me a little bit. People talking about the
Yeah.
hypnotist too,
Yeah.
and the mind reading. I'm like, that kind of stuff freaks me out. It's so cool, but I'll enjoy hearing other people's stories about it.
No, there's no way this could have been made up. He could look into the audience and be like, your hamster Butterscotch died when you were 7 years old. It was insane. How did he know that? There's no way.
I think that would freak me out too much.
Yeah, honestly, I've never been hypnotized, but it sure seems like a wild experience. I have seen other hypnotists as well. They weren't as impressive as that. That sounds amazing. Wow.
Yeah, I'm so happy I was there to see that. It blew my mind.
Yeah.
For sure. But coming up on this episode of The Wind Down, we have more news along with a brand new best nest for you to cast your vote on. Don't go anywhere because we have more on the Whitewater Wind Down after this.
What does it mean to be a Warhawk?
It means allowing myself to dream big and think outside the box.
Pushing the limits of what I think is possible.
Seeing ideas through from start to finish.
Collaborating with professors and peers.
And seizing opportunities in the community to put my knowledge to use.
I'm studying abroad.
Learning another language.
And listening to the stories of others.
I'm making lifelong friends and fearlessly sharing my gifts with the world.
As a Warhawk, I stay balanced.
Take great care of myself.
And get out of my comfort zone.
I refuse to let the past determine my future.
And I'm taking confident steps in the directions of my dreams.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense.
And other times it couldn't be more exciting.
But I will keep my goals in mind
And never quit.
Because
That's the Warhawk way.
Electronic media production students.
But educating and entertaining our audiences with award-winning news, live sports coverage, original programming,
as well as dedicating the mission to developing creative collaborations throughout campus.
For more information, visit our website and like us on Facebook.
Check us out because you gotta see what's on UWW TV. The UW Whitewater Bookstore is your one-stop shop for apparel, textbooks, and technology. Stop in for a wide selection of gifts from our alumni, family, and name brand sections. Need to purchase or rent a textbook? Head downstairs to Textbook Services. Check out our new custom shop and create personalized apparel for your organization. Need a charger, laptop, or headphones? Our new technology section has everything you might need. For more information and bookstore hours, visit uwwhitewaterbookstore.com.
Last month, we addressed specific marketing efforts of UW System that they had in place to revise its image and become more family-friendly, while encouraging students to consider enrolling in one of the many universities of Wisconsin. This week, we continue our coverage of this very important issue, which includes an exclusive interview with UW System President Jay Rothman. UW Whitewater journalism student Abby Hamachek had an important opportunity to speak with Jay Rothman recently when he visited our campus, and they have this report.
UW System President Jay Rothman has been working closely with the new marketing campaign titled Universities of Wisconsin, with hopes to increase enrollment at the 13 public Wisconsin universities. The new name is thought to be more inclusive toward students through two main elements.
One is pride in the universities of Wisconsin, and secondly is opportunities that the students have. Before it was the UW system. The system's not where 161,000 students are being educated. They're being educated at the universities.
This investment is said to cost $500,000, leading some to wonder why that much money is needed to change a brand name.
The money that we have spent is really focused predominantly on the research. Any business needs to do that, and there's a component of the universities that is a business, and we can't ignore that.
Enrollment is sporadically different between the universities of Wisconsin. This previous year, UW-Madison had a smaller freshman class due to their lack of capacity for the influx of students. In recent years, many other campus locations struggled to hit the number of students needed in regards to budget. Rothman believes this rebranding campaign can solve that issue.
This is the first year since 2014 that our total enrollment across the universities of Wisconsin went up. So I think it's really a question of getting more high school students to go on to higher education.
President Jay Rothman and his team have confidence that this rebranding can positively impact all of the 13 public Wisconsin campuses as well as its students and staff. The rebranding is slated to be complete in early 2024. For UWW-TV News, I'm Abby Hamachek.
Thanks, Abby. That is a lot of information there, but I still have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I would like to point out that it's awesome, and we appreciate that the president of the UW Systems came to Whitewater and was able to speak to us. But just from a student perspective, there's still a few holes in the story. We definitely got more information and we appreciate it, but there's a few things there that we're still a little confused about.
Yeah, it just seems like that how wasn't answered. How will the changing of a logo and a color impact the enrollment? It just doesn't seem like those two have a strong connection, at least that we've heard of so far.
Yeah, he did say that there was research and that the numbers have explained this, but the change hasn't happened yet. So what do the numbers have to do with anything? And also what research? I don't know.
Yeah, it was interesting. He pointed out that a lot of students the enrollment is up this year, but then that's supposed to help with the change, but the change hasn't happened. So I don't know how that's connected, but it'd be great if it does, help and things.
Yeah,
but
we're here for it.
Yeah, I'd like to see how that research is. Did they ask students why they joined and how this would impact them? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I personally did not choose Whitewater for the UW Systems title. Yeah. But anyways, coming up on the Whitewater Wind Down is The World Today with AJ Lohr. Stay tuned and we'll be right back.
The Royal Purple, the best place for all the latest news around the community and campus of UW Whitewater. Here you'll find all different types of weekly news stories, including sports, arts and rec, biz and tech, and even fun and interesting things like trendsetter columns and the tweet of the week. The Royal Purple has a full staff to handle all of your advertising and article needs. Ad managers and sales representatives can help you get your ad in seasonal print issues online at royalpurplenews.com and out on our social media platforms. Editors and journalists would love to write features about your organization and follow-ups about your important events. For more information on student employment opportunities, advertisement services, or anything news, contact the Royal Purple over at @uww.edu or give us a call at 262-472-5100. Stop by our office and say hi on campus in McCutcheon Hall, room 113. For all of your local campus community news, check out the Royal Purple here at University of Wisconsin-Whitewater.
Here at UWW, we put a lot of emphasis on shaping your involvement. Involvement helps you get to know more people with similar values and goals as yourself. The Student Involvement Office can help you get involved with organizations on campus, or we can help you start a brand new one. So what are you waiting for? It's time to shape your involvement at UWW. If you'd like to learn more, stop by UC 127 or contact us at involvement@uww.edu or call 262-472-6217.
I'm AJ Lore, and this is The World Today on UWW TV. In the midst of Israel's increasing military assault against Hamas in Gaza, the United Nations Relief and Work Agency of Palestinians stated that the warehouses storing basic goods such as bread and soap have been looted. According to the UN, the ongoing fighting has displaced more than half of Gaza's 2.4 million population and destroyed thousands of houses. Albert Bryan, the governor of the United States Virgin Islands, issued a state of emergency on Wednesday in response to the shocking discovery that tap water contains lead and copper, prompting warnings against its use. Governor Bryan's statement issued on Monday seeks to speed up the release of critical resources, ease emergency responses, and open the door for federal aid in tackling the U.S. territory's water pollution situation. Furthermore, the government has installed price controls on essential goods such as bottled water, while local and federal officials continue to perform and test and constant monitoring water qualities. The U.S. and South Korea conducted a major active air exercise, sending 130 jets from both countries to mimic round-the-clock combat operation. These yearly drills are planned to go until Friday and feature a variety of aircraft, including variants of the F-35 fighters from both the United States and South Korea. The main goal of these exercises is to improve military coordination through large-scale air missions that include activities such as air-to-surface live fire drills, defense counter-air operation, and emergency training. Following the expiration of the government-set deadline for their departure, Pakistani security forces started a massive operation capturing and deporting a large number of Afghans who have been living in the country without legal paperwork. This step-up anti-migrant operation began by Pakistan's capital largely affects Pakistan's nearly 2 million illegal Afghan refugees. The campaign has drawn significant criticism from United Nations agencies, human rights organizations, and Afghanistan's Taliban-led government. For more updates, check us out at uwwtv.org. I am AJ Lore, and this has been The World Today on UWW TV.
We'd love to show you what it's like to be a war hawk.
Come on!
Don't miss out on your chance to be a war hawk
at UW Whitewater.
You belong here!
Video One Media Services provides accomplished students the opportunity to enhance their college experience by working with real-world clients. In addition, we provide clients local and affordable video options to better enhance their media needs. For more information on how Video One Media Services can help you with your next media project, email or call our office at 262-472-5659.
Bonsoir à tous. Hola. Hej, hur är läget?
Marhaba.
Ni hao.
Konnichiwa.
UW Whitewater International Student Association is a student organization brings both international students and national students together to share their cultural experience and beliefs. The ISA also collaborates with other student organizations in UW Whitewater. The International Dinner is one of the most unique events that ISA have for every spring semester, which serves all kinds of food from different countries, and it invites students to show their talent on the dinner. So what are you waiting for? Come join the ISA today.
We are
ISA.
UW-Whitewater Homecoming came and went, leaving students feeling the Warhawk pride with daily events that brought students closer together, with bingo night being one of the top events. Brandon Bazinski has more on the story.
Students flooded into the Hamilton Room in the University Center not only to play bingo, but to relax and connect with other students on campus. Greek and other student organizations competed throughout the week to be crowned champions of Homecoming.
Bingo is a very easy game to play. It's non-competitive, it's completely random, and it's a great opportunity to win fun prizes. This is the one event where students and orgs are separated, or not separated, they're just all one, and they get to relax and have fun, and it's perfect in the middle of the week.
Students participated in mini-games that allowed them to move around and interact with other students while also earning points for their organization. It also gave students a chance to compete for an array of prizes.
This event helps connect students because it's students that are involved in orgs and also students that are not involved, and they can come out and get to know each other because they're all kind of sitting together, and they can play a couple rounds of bingo.
The Homecoming Steering Committee successfully hosted 2 rounds of bingo with over 100 students in attendance for each round.
I would say these events are a big success just because of how many people show up, and the events themselves are super exciting for students, and they let them get involved with others, and then it also allows organizations to show their strengths.
It was a lot of fun. I wish I won, but it was a lot of fun. I had fun with my friends, and it's very fun to play with people.
Students left bingo night with a sense of Warhawk pride and some possible new friendships. For UWW-TV, I'm Brandon Bazinski.
Thanks, Brandon. I don't know if you guys went to bingo, but I did, and it was so much fun. You wouldn't expect the college students would be that competitive about a game that's pretty much randomly chosen to be the winner of, but they were, and it was awesome.
I mean, the prizes are very intense prizes.
What sort of prizes?
There was an air fryer, and I know there was a lawn chair. Do you remember what was all there?
There was that. I think there was a couple outdoor games that you could play, and then there was a lot of fun-looking hats.
Oh, yeah, that's the best prize right there. Perfect for Halloween timing.
Yeah, that's one of the things that surprised me. I didn't go to Homecoming Bingo, but I went to the Glow Night Bingo, and I was expecting mediocre prizes, but I walked in and they're big prizes.
Yeah, they don't mess around.
They don't mess around with their bingo here, that's for sure.
I know you had said the students were really into it, and I was impressed to see the video. There really were a lot of people there, and it's it's just kind of a luck game. I feel like for me, I prefer games with a little more strategy, and it's not just sitting there maybe or maybe not I'll win. What do you think about
No,
it?
I agree with you.
Okay.
I have horrible luck. I am not good at luck games at all. But if I can control something, control freak over here, if I can figure it out, strategize, it works out better for me that way.
Yeah, I feel like I like games that are random just because they humble the people who try really hard.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Up next, we'll have more news on the Whitewater wind down, so don't go anywhere.
On. Flip them off. 91.7 WSUW. 91.7 is a student-run radio station serving the Whitewater area with a variety of original programs, live sports broadcasting, community events, and more. So turn us on. 91.7 FM. Or stream us live at 917theedge.com.
Welcome to Jitters Coffee House. Located on the first floor of the Wells Towers, Jitters is a student-run coffee lounge and offers a variety of coffee and ice cream-based drinks and is home to many entertaining programs, including live music, gamer trivia nights, and other performances. Coordinate your activity by emailing jitters@uww.edu. Jitters is completely run by volunteers who can earn service hours and even receive a free drink during their shift. Stop in tonight at Jitters Coffee House, where fun events and community come together.
Construction of a new Starbucks location is underway in Whitewater, but just how excited are campus members about this? UWW-TV's Brenda Sanchez has more.
Everyone needs a coffee break from time to time, and Whitewater is ready to welcome its newest coffee house, Starbucks. On the west side of the city, construction is bustling as a new Starbucks store is being built. The scent of fresh coffee will soon fill the air, creating a sense of excitement throughout the town.
I am very, very excited. I honestly don't go to Starbucks a ton, but my boyfriend really loves it, so I'm excited to go there in the morning with him. It's just nice that we have more businesses coming into town, especially because they're definitely going to get business around here.
While Highland Hall's Deloitte Cafe offers Starbucks products through licensing agreement, the small shop has a limited menu and does not allow for the use of coupons or gift cards. However, a standalone store will change this.
I think we average like 280, 300 people here a day. So I'd say out of that, like at least a quarter of them ask if we can like take gift cards that go for like the original stand brick and mortar Starbucks, and or they'll ask us for something that we don't have on the menu. So that'll be more convenient for them.
As an extremely popular brand, Starbucks poses new competition for local businesses. Professor Brian Shannon, a member of the City Planning and Architectural Review Committee, is curious of the dynamic between the chain and its new neighbors.
It's going to create more options for sure, so having those more options, I'm never opposed to that, but also I am very much a strong supporter of local economy, so I think that how Starbucks is going to fit into that is going to be an interesting thing to take a look at over the coming months and years.
With Starbucks set to open soon, coffee lovers in the area will have more variety to choose from, meaning they could get their fix anytime, anywhere. For UWW-TV News, I'm Brenda Sanchez.
Thank you, Brenda. All right, you guys. I have very strong feelings about this subject.
Okay.
I worked at a coffee shop for 2 years, okay? So, local coffee shops, I get the life. I get how important being local is. And with Starbucks coming to town, that makes me nervous for the local coffee shops, like the Sweet Spot. Have you guys been to any of the local coffee shops here in Whitewater or in the area?
I have. I've been to the Sweet Spot, and I got, I believe it was a lavender matcha, and it was so delicious. And although I understand where people are coming from with Starbucks, it's consistent, You go anywhere in the country and you get the same thing and it's the same. But I also just love supporting local businesses, and they had really good cookies too, which I feel like.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of I like the vibes, the different vibes of the different local coffee shops. You can kind of pick what you like and you don't like about different ones. And whereas, Starbucks is very convenient for a lot of things, but it's also a little more commercialized, maybe, I guess. Yeah.
I like that opportunity is out there and people can use their gift cards and that's just another place to go. But in my opinion, local tastes better. Yeah. So don't give up on the other coffee shops here in town.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. But stay tuned, because when we come back, you'll get a chance to cast your vote for another Residence Hall room on this week's edition of Best Nests with Terry Elise Mims. We're going to take a quick break, but first, let's take a look at this weekend's weather forecast.
What does it mean to be a Warhawk?
It means allowing myself to dream big and think outside the box.
Pushing the limits of what I think is possible.
Seeing ideas through from start to finish.
Collaborating with professors and peers.
And seizing opportunities in the community to put my knowledge to use.
I'm studying abroad,
learning another language,
and listening to the stories of others.
I'm making lifelong friends and fearlessly sharing my gifts with the world.
As a Warhawk, I stay balanced,
take great care of myself,
and get out of my comfort zone.
I refuse to let the past determine my future.
And I'm taking confident steps in the direction of my dreams.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense.
And other times it couldn't be more exciting.
But I will keep my goals in mind and never quit.
Because
that's the Warhawk way.
For Hawk Talk, especially on days I'm hosting, you really need to be up early looking at those news stories. Even the night before, I'm finding topics that I can incorporate in the show, and I feel like we get a conversation going.
Once you get the opportunity to do that with other people who appreciate it the same level as you do, it makes it that much more enjoyable.
For everything sports, tune in Monday through Thursday at 91.7 The Edge or watch us on UWW TV.
The James R. Conner University Center on UW-Whitewater's campus is a gathering place for students of various cultures, backgrounds, and lifestyles. The UC is a great source for information, campus tickets, meetings, entertainment, food, gallery exhibits, workshops, and all of your Hawk Card needs. Whether you're looking for a place to study between classes or just a place to hang out with friends, the UC is the place for you. For more information on the UC, please visit uc.uww.edu or go to facebook.com/uc.uww.
Get ready to soar into the coolest cribs on campus. It's Best Nest, where Warhawks flaunt their unique style and creativity. Experience on-campus living like you've never seen before. From lofted beds to epic gaming setups and shared spaces turned into hangout havens, Best Nest is your VIP ticket to the most stylish Warhawk living spaces. Don't miss your chance to crown the Best Nest. Scan the QR code today and cast your vote for the #1 nest. Your choice matters. Be part of the excitement and choose which Warhawk has the coolest crib on campus. By the end of the semester, one Warhawk will rise above the rest and claim the title of Best Nest. Best Nests, your backstage pass to Warhawk style. Scan the QR code or visit uwwtv.org today to start voting for your favorite nest.
This is Best Nest on UWW-TV. I'm Terry Elise Mims. This week, Brianna and Aisha invite us into Nylons to show us their cozy dorm with lots of snacks and reminders of home.
My name's Aisha, and welcome to our room.
Well, this is my desk. I'm here a lot. I do my makeup here, I study here. Some of my favorite things that I've got that I brought from home would have to be my little card from my nephew. He made that for me the day before I left. I've got my makeup and everything over here. Everything's super organized, and that's like super important to me. So I'm very proud of the decorations I've got. A lot of those Polaroid pictures are from my graduation party. And then my sister actually painted those 3 paintings for me, and then that is a canvas of my 2 nephews. So yes, it feels very much like home, and I love it.
Okay, well, this is my side. These are all my clothes, and my favorite things are my shoes. These are just some of my shoes up here. Most of them are still at home. But my record player, of course, I love my vinyls. Spider-Man, I love Spider-Man. Another Spider-Man. Here's my desk. Here's just some of the pictures that I brought from home. I miss my family and my friends, but yeah. These are some Lego sets that I still need to build, but we'll get to that soon. But I love my perfume sets. I brought some of them from home. The Ariana Grande is like my favorite right now. But yeah, my backpack is over there. I always keep my my keys right here so I don't forget about them. And my bed. Some of my favorite vinyls are up here. Tyler and Daniel, and Whitewater, of course. LED lights. And this is the cart we share. All the snacks, of course. We get hungry really often, so yeah.
I think we should win because I like the fact that our sides are very much individually us, and I think represent who we are very well. And yeah, I like the fact that you can tell which side is which but they mesh together really well. They look great together.
I think we should win because my room is basically my retreat. I love music so much, and every single time I'm done with class or I just need a space where I can relax, I just come in my room, put on my favorite record, and just dance it out. I love to dance and I love music, and it just makes my heart be at peace.
Thanks for stopping by.
We'll see you later.
Thanks, Brianna and Aisha. Remember to cast your vote for Nylons or any other hall as this semester's Best Nest. Just scan the QR code on UWW-TV's website under Best Nest or visit our Facebook page. I'm Terry Elise Mims, and this has been Best Nest on UWW-TV.
Get ready to soar into the coolest cribs on campus. It's Best Nest, where Warhawks show off their sweet style. Experience on-campus living like you've never seen before. From lofted beds to epic gaming setups and shared spaces turned into hangout havens, Best Nest is your backstage pass to stylish Warhawk rooms. Don't miss out on the action. Scan the QR code today and vote for your #1 nest. By the end of the semester, one Warhawk room will win the title of Best Nest.
Thanks, Terry. How did you guys feel about the room this week?
I liked it a lot in comparison to the other rooms. No offense to the other rooms, but I like that this one, like, you could tell whose was whose, versus all the other rooms were like, oh, ours is cohesive and together. They're just like, you can tell 2 different people live there, and I kind of like that aspect of it.
Yeah, I like that. Like, this is very different than other things we've seen in the past. Like, the 2 rooms are, like, very apparent, like, of their personalities, but, like, they still somehow fit together very well.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I also like the individualized aspects of it. You know, the paintings on the wall the one girl had, that was really sweet and so well done. And her little nephew's note.
Yeah, and the pictures of home.
Yeah, and, and the shoe display, I thought that was cool.
Yes, that was cool.
And the Spider-Man and the snacks, come on, it's pretty great.
The snacks were so organized. Like, I loved that.
Very impressive.
Another thing I liked about their room is that the one girl had a record player, and she was talking about how, like, music was her outlet, just like to escape from, you know, the college life. And I feel like having that outlet in your room to go back to, it's like comforting.
Yeah,
like, everyone needs to have some sort of thing like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Music is important in my life too, in my home, my room. I don't have a record player, but I've got my headphones, you know, and my phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for Inside Warhawk Sports coming up next on The Wind Down.
We'd love to show you what it's like to be a Warhawk.
Come on!
Don't miss out on your chance to be a Warhawk.
At UW-Whitewater.
You belong here!
Life just isn't right without music. Luckily, Whitewater's own 9170 Edge has you covered. Get your daily dose of alternative, hip-hop, and metal by tuning your radio to 91.7 or listen anywhere on 9170edge.com.
Crew is a faith-based organization for UW-Whitewater students. Their mission? To create an inclusive Christian community for students looking to explore or grow their faiths.
For me specifically, it's been amazing to just have people to walk alongside with my Christian journey on.
They always say to like go and experience new things while you're at college, and I think this is just another one of those things that you should experience.
Crew welcomes all students and is held at Summers Auditorium on Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Come join our crew.
Welcome to this week's edition of Inside Warhawk Sports on UWW-TV. I'm your host, AJ Kober, joined by UW-Whitewater Wrestling head coach, Matt Zwaszka. Coach, you're entering your 6th season as the head coach for UW-Whitewater Wrestling. What would you say has been the most rewarding aspect of your time with this team?
It's just been really good, you know, to be part of a program that has a lot of tradition. You know, in the past, it has a strong tradition of winning both conference titles, individual national titles, and All-Americans, have a really, really strong past. So try to keep carrying that forward, you know. We've done a pretty good job of that. As far as like the day-to-day, it's awesome to be able to come in and work with motivated student athletes that strive, you know, to be the best they can be on the wrestling mat and also in the classroom. And then too, we like to have students of the game, so kids that like to come in and you know, study film and really perfect their craft. So that's kind of my favorite things, you know, of being part of the program.
This year you have two-time national champion Jaron Shinhoster back in the wrestling room, this time as a graduate assistant. What sort of presence has he brought to this team as a coach and previously as a player?
Well, obviously, the kids look up to him a lot because he's done a lot of winning. You know, everybody can value that and appreciate that. So I think that the younger kids really look up to him and value his opinion on, you know, what they can do better or whatnot. Also, just his technique in the room, from him to be able to sort of just focus on himself and actually be able to share some of the stuff he's doing more and share his techniques and the holds that he uses. That's been very valuable to our guys. Jared has always been a big student of the game too, so he's very, very good at breaking down film. So he's brought another aspect of having an individual in the room that can watch film with our guys and, you know, give them pointers on things that they can improve on.
Half of your starting spots in your lineup were vacated by last year's graduating seniors. What performance do you expect out of the student athletes filling those available spots this year?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of opportunity for kids. So there should be a lot of enthusiasm. There should be a lot of you know, striving to become the best you can be, and a lot of competition for those spots. You are right. We did you know, graduate quite a few people. I believe we had maybe 5 seniors in the lineup at the end of the year. But we also had a sophomore and 4 freshmen. So we do have some younger kids coming back with experience. We feel pretty confident about the group of athletes that we brought in. And now there's opportunity for 5 other individuals, you know, to step up and wear that Warhawk singlet and you know, compete how we want our guys to compete.
Coach, wrestling is a very difficult and combative sport. What sort of lessons can be taught on the mat that can be put into practice off the mat?
Yeah, for sure. It's a tough sport. It's grueling with the workouts in the morning, our practices, and then, you know, the competitions and making weight. But I think it teaches you a lot about perseverance, maybe working through hard times or maybe questioning some things, able to battle through that. Obviously, you have to have a strong work ethic, but also the, you know, the dedication, but the passion and the joy to try to chase something down and like to actually really, really love the process of trying to become the best you can be. I really think that's a unique characteristic that all athletics can bring to people, but wrestling too, because it's so individual and it really, really teaches you taking care of the little things can go a long, long way, but just having that dedication and that perseverance is a really big factor.
Matt checking in to see how Sam is doing on his project, and it's getting close to exporting now, the final step in the process. And it is complete, and Sam is hyped. Finally gets complete and spikes the ball into the end zone. Sam's celebrating with his colleagues, and oh, they throw a flag on the play. The ref's going to call excessive celebration. Sam is in disbelief and can't believe it. He tries to dispute the call, but the ref is not having any of it.
Welcome back. Hopefully everyone here got the extra hour of sleep due to daylight savings time, unless you were up all night. But what do you guys think of daylight savings time?
I'm okay with fallback, Extra hours sleep, like of course that's great. The only thing about daylight savings that's like kind of confusing to me is that like not everything is consistent. Like there's certain places that don't follow daylight savings, so I'm like, how do you fit into the rest of the world?
Yeah, it is a little bit confusing. You have to think about that, especially if you're like in an international company or something and you have meetings with people around the world. You know, time zones make a difference. Arizona is one place that doesn't have daylight savings.
Hawaii is another one of those.
Oh wow.
I forget where it is, but there's a place that has like multiple different types of communities within it, like Native American tribes that don't follow daylight savings, and you can travel across the whole place and travel through 12 different time zones.
But does that count as time travel?
Ooh,
what do we
there you
think?
go. I think we
That's
should
one way to
count
think
that.
about that. All right.
Put that on your bucket list.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, I need another hour to do this. You drive somewhere else, you come have another hour. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
I think
There you go.
I knew that daylight savings was introduced in 1918 to give more time for like they didn't want to use up war resources or something like that. But for me, I'm like, I don't know if that's really worth it. I feel like because now we're stuck in this daylight savings time track where I'm leaving early in the morning and it's dark out. I'm coming home late at night and it's dark out, and I never see the sun.
Never see the sun. That
Yeah.
was me in high school, and I'm happy that like with college life, like going, you know, in between the classes and everything, I get to see the sun a little bit, but it is hard. Like seasonal depression hits, like going into hibernation mode. It's hard for some people.
oh yeah, it's napping season.
There you go, absolutely. Well, it looks like that is all the time that we're going to have today on this edition of the Whitewater Wind Down. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for more news, entertainment, and sports. For Peyton, Edie, and myself, have a fantastic weekend and stay tuned to UWTV.